Hi, everybody. I am Eloise Mumford,
And I'm Julian Morris.
and we are super, super excited for all of you to see our new movie, The Presence of Love. We have a couple questions that Hallmark Movies and Mysteries sent our way, and we're going to be answering them. And Julian and I love each other, so this is a blast to get to do this. We're really excited. So let's get started. The first question is, in the presence of love, literature professor Jocelyn is given a surprise vacation to England to visit what was once her family's farm. During her trip, she meets single father Daniel. Without giving away too many spoilers, can we share how their journey unfolds?
Eloise, you want to do that one?
Oh, okay, sure. Oh gosh, without too many spoilers is tough.
I know it's tough, right?
It's a tough question. But we get to watch these two people who come from completely different sides of the earth meet each other and find what they have in common, see how much community matters on in both of their lives, and in the middle of it all, maybe some sparks fly. I don't know, maybe
I
not.
mean, I guess what I really loved about this one is just how much these two characters needed each other. Um, and like you say, Louise, they have such different backgrounds, and that they come into each other's life is so unexpected to both of them. And I think what I really liked about doing this movie and this story particularly is just how sort of vulnerable it was and how real it all felt.
Yeah.
And obviously doing it with you, which was amazing.
Yeah, you're right. They are facing real life challenges and they have real life things going on with them. And I think I agree, that's what's so beautiful in particular about this, is that the possibility of finding love and finding family and grace and all of that is possible at the same time that you're dealing with these very real things which we all face in our lives. uh,
Absolutely, and how much we sort of rely on each other, right? It's we can try and face and surmount life's difficulties on our own, but it's truly when we can rely on someone else to help us through these challenging moments. And I think what's so nice about the characters and the journey and this story, this love story, is that you and I get to surmount them together. We got to do it together.
and some things just are meant to be. I mean, I don't know, I'm a like, sappy romantic, but it is that lovely thing of like it all feels so random that it comes together, and then it all feels like it's just meant to be, which
You know what? You are a romantic, and so am I. We're both romantics.
yeah, 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 which is perfect because we ended up in this romance together. uh,
It is perfect.
okay, you asked me the next one.
Okay, during Joss's stay at the farm, she discovers that Danny's daughter Tegan has early signs of dyslexia and offers to help her. Eloise, how does tutoring Tegan help Joss with her professional struggles?
So Joss is a literature professor, and she is struggling to finish her dissertation paper that she needs to get in order to be qualified enough to have the position that she wants. It's sort of the academia rat race that she finds herself in, that she doesn't particularly thrilled by, and doesn't particularly give her a lot of joy. She does love teaching very much, though, and I think in all of her professional life, she's sort of lost sight of the thing that she really loves. And as she starts to help Tegan, she finds that joy again, like that spark comes back, and she remembers what it is that actually matters, what she actually loves. And I think that's important, and for all of us in our lives, that sometimes we like really can lose sight of the thing that brings us joy, and it's so simple, the answer.
Mm,
um and it sort of realigns what's important for her, and reminds her to just focus on the task ahead, which is like all we really can do, right, in this crazy world. So yeah, yeah,
that's so interesting. You're totally right that life can get so busy, and you sort of get distracted by all the things that we have to do that we sort of lose sight of what does bring us joy. And any time that we can be reminded of that, whether it's reading a good book or exploring or traveling or watching a beautiful romantic movie, it's nice to settle in that and do it, to do the things that bring us joy.
Yeah, because listen, there's always going to be the things we have to do or should do,
Yeah.
like always. But in the middle of that, there are things that we feel like we have to do that we don't actually, that is just us being told that by the outside, and we don't actually have to do it. So
Totally. I like this. More joy. We need more joy.
yeah, more love, more joy.
More love, more joy. Yeah.
Okay, the relationship between Daniel and Joss continues to grow as she opens up about her anxiety, and he shares his struggle as a single dad. What's a quality that we each admire about our characters?
That's a really good question. For sure, I think that often doing the right thing, doing the good thing, is hard. And what I really admire about my character is that it's a big sacrifice for him to do the right thing. The right thing being that he takes his daughter and helps his mum and sort of gives up a lot of the life that I'm sure he would love to be living in London, but doesn't. He goes to the farm, he helps his mum with his daughter, and he does the right thing. And I think that's hard to do, but he does it. And I think that a really beautiful thing that I see in both characters is that it's through the other that they find a sense of themselves. And I think in both cases, your character, my character, they have the patience to sort of really tune into the other, understand them, and help them get to that place where the other needs to be.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, I love that. I really admire in Joss that, as the question says, she struggles with anxiety a lot. And I certainly know so many people, and myself included, who over the last few years, like that, as the world feels crazy, that we are facing that. Like that is a part of life, and figuring out how to both manage that and handle that, and in some ways use it as a superpower, has become something that I certainly talk about a lot with my friends and people that I love. And I love that Joss is doing that with a lot of openness, that she talks to her friends about it. She talks to her community about it. And in that is able to, I don't know, that's the way we all connect, right? Is like talking about the things that make it that we're struggling with. And through that, she's able, like you said, to meet someone who she loves, and to the intimacy of being honest about where she is. And I'm really inspired by that, meeting somebody exactly where they are, meeting yourself exactly where you are, and having grace and kindness towards that. I really admire about her.
I love that. Before I ask the next question, I have to show you something which I'm really proud of. Can I do this? I had my little instruments in my car. It's a guitar and it's a disco ball. Do you like that?
That's amazing.
This brings me joy. So when I drive, I'm like driving around, and I get to see the little disco ball and the guitar.
Does the guitar does it have strings on it? Like, does it actually?
No,
on it?
I don't know. Oh no, they definitely don't work. But it does have strings on it, so it looks like it could be played. But because I can't play guitar, so thank God it doesn't actually work. Do you want to see something else which is I have in my car?
Yes, please.
I have the biggest gallon thing of water ever. Because drinking water is good for you.
I am loving this show and tell. I made this mug. Cannot be. That's
beautiful. That's so cool. I love that.
No, I sent it to my boyfriend, and he was like, "Yeah, I can tell because the handle is so huge." And I was like, "Well, fair enough." But I like a big handle, though. So what can I say?
I drink so much tea during the day. Like good mug is everything.
It is.
Okay, so we get to show how important it is having a good support system around you as you navigate the challenges life can throw your way. How did you relate to that theme?
Well, everything in my life, I feel like, is due to the incredible support system that I have around me. And the older I get, the more grateful I am for that, the more aware I am of that, and the more I want to show up and be that for other people, because that's all we really have, I think, in this world, is like the people around us who we love and who we support and who support us. So I definitely really relate to that. And I not just relate to it, I actively try to build that around me. And I'm so, so grateful for the people who in my life, including you, who, you know, support me in the times when I need support. And I hope it always feels like vice versa.
Oh my God, big time, big time. Honestly, Eloise, like doing this movie, like there are obviously lots of good things about it, but for me, the best part was you, like getting to work with you, getting to meet you, and having such an amazing scene partner. And I think when you sort of do movies that don't have like the biggest budgets in the world, it can be really tough because you got to get your pages in every single day. But you were so utterly present during the scenes and so giving, both as a fellow actor but as a friend. And so I am so grateful I had you to do this with.
Julian, that's so kind. I feel exactly the same way, truly. I really, really do. And it's always wonderful when you work with someone, and I think it's rare. But when it happens, it feels like magic when you're like, oh my God, the way that they see the world and the way that you see the world and the way that you approach your work is incredibly inspiring to me. And the amount of generosity and kindness that you brought to it as well. It made it very easy to fall in love. Which, you know, because when, it was a total joy. It was a total joy. I'm really, really grateful for it. Okay, so we had the opportunity to film this movie in the beautiful seaside town of Cornwall. From the local traditions like eating pasties to the gorgeous cliffside scenery, can we share our experience filming there and what role the location plays?
Yeah, first of all, I was so silly. I forgot that it was called a pasty, not a pasty, which is something else entirely. But you remember that?
Yeah.
I obviously, I grew up in England. I'd never visited Cornwall prior to doing this movie, and my friends who lived there, it had always been on my bucket list to go, and so to film in Cornwall, which is such a beautiful place, and I actually think the film captures so much of its beauty, was such a treat. And in terms of how the location plays in the film, it's everything. It's almost like another character.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited that viewers, when they watch the movie, are going to see, a side of England that probably not many of them associate England with. It's really utterly beautiful. We had an amazing time filming there.
Oh, it was so gorgeous, wasn't it? I only wish that we could have had more time to explore. I mean,
yeah.
It's always fun. I mean, I remember being on location in some of those places with you and just watching your eyes light up with the joy of how stunning it was. It was really, really tremendous. The cliff sides, I can't even realize that England had that sort of scenery, and I feel silly for saying that, but the blue water and the history of it all. And for me in particular, I was incredibly moved by the kindness of the people there. People are kind everywhere, and I'm always blown away by that. And I was again blown away by the people that we met, the crew that we worked with, who were absolutely just incredible. And the weather was wild, like bonkers wild. We filmed in December, right? And it was like raining one second, hailing the next second, rainbows the next second. Just pretty incredible. But yeah, I just have to pinch myself over and over again when we were driving through those like hedge lined tiny little roads to the farm. None of it felt right. I felt like I was in one of my favorite movies of all time, The Holiday. And just have you never seen that movie?
Hang on a minute.
With Jude Law and Kate Winslet, Cameron Diaz?
I haven't seen it.
Okay, well. It's, oh God, you have to watch it. I'm
going to watch it.
And as soon as I pulled up to the farmhouse where we did the majority of the filming, I was like, okay, I'm just going to pretend I'm in this movie for the next however many.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, the location was an incredible character in the film for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Joss and Danny are both at a crossroad in their professional lives and find themselves worried about their futures. How does getting to know one another impact their next steps?
I mean, it changes everything, right?
Yeah.
In that sort of beautiful way that happenstance can, I think. I think like I said earlier, it reminds Joss, meaning Daniel, reminds her what's important in life. And what you were saying about sacrifices, that there's a certain amount of sacrifice that we have to make for our own happiness, for the happiness of people around us. And there are always decisions to be made in that realm.
Yeah,
And I think in meeting Daniel, Joss realizes what she really values, what's really important, and that becomes a North Star for her, which is a really, God, what a powerful experience to have, you know?
totally. It's like, both of them were in the right place at the right time for each other. And that was really sort of, it's the magical part of the movie, that they're there for each other in that exact instant that the other needs them to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Daniel's working on rebuilding a strained relationship with his mom, but we would love to know what was each of our experiences getting to work with Samantha Bond and the rest of the incredible cast.
God, they were terrible.
You're the worst. You were the only one I loved. Just kidding.
They were amazing.
Incredible.
Everyone was great. Sam is obviously an acting legend in the UK and the world. She was so incredible. What I loved about acting with Sam, the most, was she has this beautiful. There's this like camaraderie when you're around her, right, Eloise? So she was always sort of like encouraging us to do things outside of work, to have dinners together, to go exploring together, and I think it's all too easy to sort of just get lost in the work itself and forget about, hang on, you're in this beautiful place with fantastic people that, we should also have a good time. And so she was really encouraging and made sure we did lots of fun things. And that in itself was so bonding. Yeah, I really miss her. I wish she was here.
I know, I do too. I can't say enough good things about Samantha Bond. I just absolutely fell in love with her.
Yeah.
I really did. And there's something about, she's had such an incredible career and continues to have such an incredible career. And I remember we were at dinner one night, all of us together, and she was telling stories just from people that she's worked with and experiences that she's had. And it's one of those moments where you just like pinching yourself because you feel like you're in the presence of someone who has spent a lifetime doing what we all aspire to do, and with such generosity and such humility. I felt really lucky to get to watch her work as well,
100%.
which is really a wonderful thing.
And as a professional as well, like she's the epitome of a working actor. Mm-hmm. And so how she approaches her craft, how she approaches her career, it's totally inspiring. It's, I guess it's the goal, the dream, right? Oh. She does great things. She's such a professional on set. She gives it her all. She's there. She's present. It's really inspiring.
Yeah, I love her. I mean, honestly, when she was like, when we left and she wanted to, she's like, someday we all have to have dinner again. I'm like, literally, how soon can I get to England so that we can all have dinner together? I would do it.
Yeah.
Also, Amy Sharp, who played your
so good
daughter, absolutely incredible. And there's some sort of magic about watching a young person acting and how present they are in the moment that I think she's incredible. I think people are really going to love seeing what she did as well. She was just breathtaking. And everybody, I mean, the whole cast, there was so much camaraderie and so much joy in it all, which was a blast.
Yeah, totally.
Is it me or you? I forgot. Oh, it's you. Sorry.
I can't. Is it me? Okay, cool. The Presence of Love is truly a heartwarming movie, and without giving away any spoilers, do we each have a favorite scene we can share?
I really loved all the stuff on the cliff. I really loved being out on the cliffs and out in that world. There's a scene where we're working on a fence and just being out in the open air with you, I thought was so fun. And just, there was a lot going on, and just you and I looking at each other in the eyes and just being there with each other. And
yeah.
Just, I think you have a superpower in that way of just like locking in, and the rest just sort of the noise all sorts of all sort of falls away, and you really grounded me in that. So I I don't know. I really loved that scene. There was also there was a scene where we eat pasties, which are, for people who they're sort of like a calzone, like a meat or vegetable filled hand pie. And there had been so much talk about pasties and how, because Cornish pasties are a huge thing. And then when we finally got to eat them, I was quite excited for that scene, because, you know, we actually got to eat them in the scene, which was fun.
God, I'm so hungry right now. My favorite scenes were when I got to flirt with you, because I really like flirting with you. I love it. And I will say that can I say that? Is this okay? Do you mind if I say I really enjoyed our kissing scene? Is that okay to say?
Sure, you can say that.
You're a good kisser. That was.
You make me blush.
That was fun.
That was fun. We had 2 kissing scenes. I don't want to like. Oh, that's a little bit of a spoiler alert. But anyway, we fall in love.
Oh, come on! It's a love film, right?
But yes,
most disappointing like romance film ever. They don't get together.
I really enjoyed that as well. And there was some of our like bantery, I don't know, you're the best, Julian. I just loved like some of our bantery stuff. I really enjoyed too, just like laughing and having a good time. And, yeah, flirting. It was a blast. And there was one scene where we filmed in a castle, and you're a little bit more of a risk taker than I am, and you were like, I'm a little bit of a rule follower. And you were like, come with me. And we like ducked underneath like somewhere we weren't supposed to go, and went up to the turret up at the very top.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy knows how to live in the moment.
That was fun. We had this beautiful view of the whole of Cornwall, which was so stunning.
Incredible. Okay, my gosh, it's the end of our questions, but let's do a rapid fire game of this or that that's inspired by the presence of love, should we?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick the answer that you like best out of these things.
Cool.
Spend the day visiting new shops or relax by the ocean.
Relax by the ocean.
Me too.
What about you?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, you did
a
great job of that when we were there, because you like set up this whole field trip day, which was a blast. And we
That's right.
Which ocean? I mean, truly any ocean. I'm here for any ocean. You?
Right now I'm thinking somewhere in the South Pacific. Give me a nice beach chair. Like, I don't know if I can even read a book. I just want to like lay in the sun and like
Okay, I'm in. We should just when we get off here, let's plan a vacation. That sounds delightful.
Right? Yes, please.
Okay, you go.
Okay, take a writing class or read literature.
I guess I go for read literature. Although taking a writing class sounds really lovely too, but I haven't done that since college. So I guess I'll go with reading literature. I just read a great book, by the way, if you're looking for a great book.
Yeah.
It's called Mouth to Mouth by Antoine Wilson, and I really enjoyed it.
Very cool. Mouth to mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You didn't answer. Yours. You didn't answer.
Oh my God! Yeah, definitely. Read a book.
Okay.
I mean, no, I wanna I like to discuss books with friends if I'm like really into it. But no, I would definitely just want to read, and get me on that beach and let me have that book to read.
Okay, recite poetry or listen to music.
Listen to music.
I wish you said
listen to music.
If you had said recite poetry,
You would. I mean, I like to recite poetry, but I would say that music plays such a big part of my life, and I like it if I want to relax, if I want to sort of get in the mood, like that is. I mean, I honestly, I probably listen to hours of music every day.
Yeah.
It's a really big thing for me. I love it.
Yeah.
I really like amazing response to it. It's something that my dad who was a musician, he you know, when I was growing up, he'd always play music with his guitar and sing, and would always have a record playing. And I think sort of he taught me the appreciation and love of music. And it's actually still something to this day that when we're with each other, we'll always try and find a gig to go to together.
I love
and that's like our thing.
I love that. Will you send me some of your favorite music when we get off here? I want to hear what you're listening to these days.
Totally.
I also would be listening to music rather than reciting poetry. Although maybe I should get into like memorizing poetry. Just I did really enjoy in the film. I had to memorize some poetry and say
That's right.
it. And there was one little stanza of a poem in particular that I found myself repeating a lot, which is I wouldn't have memorized if it weren't for this film. But there was something really beautiful about that. Okay, try and
I was gonna say, do you want to recite it?
No. Well, it's like it's one of those things. I think that's what's so beautiful about poetry, right? Is that it's personal. Like there is a mantra sort of like feeling to it that when something connects with you, there you can't really explain what it is, but if there's it's like turning a rock over and over again in your hand, or like, the soothing of the words, but that's so specific to each person.
Do you have a favorite poet?
Mary Oliver.
Cool. I don't know, but I'll check her out.
Oh God. Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. I'll send it to you.
Really? Yeah. That's cool.
Bye. It's like you read that. I mean, yeah.
Damn, Eloise, maybe by the end of today we're going to be reciting each other poetry.
I hope so. But on the beach, but on a South Pacific beach. Okay, try a new cafe or visit a farmer's market.
New cafe, for sure.
Really?
But when I see like cafe and in the question it's spelled with the accent, with that little line on top of the E, like it makes me think of like a cool cafe in Paris. It's like that's what I have in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, a new cafe. Because I like the idea that you're there, you might eat nice food, might have nice coffee, just like chat with your friend, catch up. I like that.
Yeah.
I really am thinking like a bistro in Paris right now.
Well, I mean, if we're going like Parisian cafe, I guess I go Parisian cafe over.
Okay. How about this? A Parisian cafe.
Yeah.
Or a Parisian farmers market. Okay, you're in Paris. Cafe or farmers market?
I have to go farmers market.
Really? Why?
Because I'm a farmer at heart, honestly. Like, I am. I don't know what to say. I mean, like all the produce and like, then you get a little like hot cider or, they have coffee and they also have treats at the farmer's market. But then you also get the people watching. You get, see like all the carrots and zucchinis,
I'm sold.
Cheese.
I like a carrot and a zucchini.
Okay, stay at a countryside farm or visit a lively city.
Lively city. Give me that cafe in a lively city.
This is where we're opposites here. We're like,
but this is why we match, because we complement each other. So if we were like traveling together, like we do like our countryside farmers markets, we do like our city time.
Yeah, it's true. I would be like, we have to go for this hike, and you'd be like, okay, but tonight we have to go dancing, and I'd be like, okay, let's do it.
And it would be a perfect day.
It would be a perfect day. I have to go countryside farm. If it's a countryside farm, although I do love a lively city, so
I mean, these are all nice options, right? You can't go wrong.
These are all like win-win questions for sure.
Yeah. The next is kind of similar. Curl up and read a book or explore a new town.
I would like to explore a new town.
Yeah, same.
It's one of my favorite things actually about being an actor is that you work in so many different places that otherwise you wouldn't get to necessarily like go set up shop. And like I love I was living in Truro in Cornwall when we filmed there, and finding the laundromat, like going to the grocery store. Like I love seeing what it would be like to live, getting a little slice of what it's like to live in that place.
Totally.
I really love it.
Although I would say like back in the day, my favorite thing before I would travel somewhere would be getting the guidebook, like the rough guide to Lonely Planet, and so like marking out all the things I'd want to explore, and I would literally curl up with that book and like memorize it. So when I got to that new place, I know where I wanted to do, and I'd have like the list of things I wanted to check out.
That sounds like heaven. I think we need to go on a trip. That sounds like I'm like, yes, please. Nerding out on a trip before the trip.
It's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's part of the fun.
Julian, that's the end of our questions.
What?
I know.
No,
Yeah, this has been so fun.
this has been fun.
Thank you everybody for joining us. It's been such a delight, and we can't wait for you to watch the premiere of our new movie, which, as we've said, is called The Presence of Love. And yeah.
And tune in. The Presence of Love is on Sunday, March the 13th at 9/8 only on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Yeah, that's 9/8 Central, in case.
I don't know these like weird American. What is this? 9/8? What does this mean?
That's 9/8 Central. So, so tune in then. God, I love you so much. And you guys, you have to tweet along while you're watching, and you have to use, if you do, please use the hashtag The Presence of Love. And once again,